Hey guys, I'm down here near Washington Square. I just come out and nib nose and look at this construction site where they're going to be putting the new annex. Looks like they got some massive pile driving machine over there. Earlier today I was out Rosebud. I made a video then. I think that was part 4 of my series about the Clarksburg comprehensive plan. So far I've talked about how the plan's out of date. Doesn't mention Jerry Dub developments, doesn't mention Robinson Grand, doesn't really have good meaningful discussion of right sizing, and it doesn't it won't account for possible changes coming up due to the Biden administration. I will move on to a 5th item, and this would be pedestrian safety. I was out Rosebud, like I said, and driving back in between the food line and the village square. I saw a guy on a motorized wheelchair off the side of the road. Now I know he had to actually come in the road 2 or 3 times because there's parts where the hill's falling in, and there was an old man walking. And you get down here, you know, into Lower Staley or downtown, you realize just how many of our citizens walk around. You see people, you know, families with small kids walking to the Dollar General or wherever. They maybe don't have a car. You know, the comprehensive plan requires us to take into account the well-being of all citizens, not just those that have a car. And I think back right now to a man named Howie that used to be down here. He passed away a few years ago, but he had a motorized car and he'd ride around, and he'd always complain that a lot of places, utility poles sit in the middle of sidewalks, and he had to ride in the road because his wheelchair couldn't get around him on the sidewalk, on the poles. And he was kind of a liberal guy, and some people didn't have a lot of respect for him or disliked him because of his political views. But the man was a retired firefighter with the United States Forest Service from California. He moved here to met a woman. So the man, not exactly a freeloader. You know, he worked very difficult, dangerous job, and in his retirement, he couldn't even get around the town that he lived in. He couldn't, you know, have just basic enjoyment of his town. You know, we spend millions of dollars on cars, but we just ignore sidewalks, and walking on foot is the most natural human form of getting around. Why do we make that difficult for people? You know, why do we make it dangerous for them to get around? If you live in Laurel Lanes or Rosebud and you want to get somewhere, you know, I guess you could wait for the bus, but certain days you just got to walk it. I think we really need to discuss this issue. It's not really mentioned in the old comprehensive plan, but we do need to discuss providing for the transportation of, you know, people who are at the bottom of the economic, socioeconomic ladder here. I'm gonna holler at you later.